Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel or welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video we're going to look at appearances for date and time question types. So I don't have a date question type, so what I'm going to do first of all is add a few questions for date and time. So I'm going to do this and add a question here that is date. So I'm going to do date, and then I'm going to do date 1. This would be date 1, and I'm going to do this down to date. I'm feeling a bit lazy, so I'm going to do this also, and then replicate this here. So we're going to use these dates option to see how these date questions, to see how we're able to work with the date appearance, the date appearance within ODQ Collect. So the first one, sorry, let me take out this empty space. So the first date question here we have, by default, if we have a date question, so I'm going to leave this first one without any appearance so we can see the different appearances that we have. So to begin with, we have Gregorian calendar, which I know we mostly are familiar with, the January to December calendar types. But we also have different calendars, right? We have the Hijri or Islamic calendar, we have the Buddhist calendar, we have the Persian calendar, we have the Ethiopian calendar, the Coptic calendar. So not all the calendars currently are supported by ODQ Collect, but hopefully in the future more and more will be added. But I think currently at the time of making this video, ODQ supports, in addition to the Gregorian calendar, supports about 6 to 7 calendar types. I'm going to put them on the screen here, or we're going to look at them and see the calendar types they support. So the first few ones we're going to work with are going to be ones that that already work with the Gregorian calendar. So by default, we're going to leave this to see the appearance that this works with. So for the second one of the appearance that it works with is no calendar. So if you click on a calendar question, it pops up a calendar, or a date question, it pops up calendar, and then you select. But you don't want the user to see a calendar. You just want them to scroll through. We're going to see how that appears. So we're going to select the no calendar option. The other appearance that's supported is month year. So where you don't want an exact date. So maybe you want someone to tell you the month and the year they started something. You're not particularly interested about the particular date. So you can also have that, which is the month year option. And then the third appearance is year option, only year. You're not interested about the month, but only the year. Now, one thing these two do, the month, year, and the year, is they give you the entire date, but then you extract only the year. So for example, if someone selects month, year, they select January 2024, then you're going to have 1st January 2024. So it's up to you when you're working with your data, when you're cleaning it, to drop the 1st January and just pick January 2024. The same thing with year. It's going to pick a month and a day and store the data together with it, but it's up to you to then drop the month and day and pick the year. So we're going to do this first 3, and then we're going to add the others to see how they appear. So I'm going to save this and then upload my form. Then I'm going to refresh to get the latest form. So once I refresh, I have the updated version here. So this is the first date question type. You can see here we don't have any appearance. This is the question we are looking at now. Once I click on select date, it brings up this calendar. And so I'm able to click on this, click on the year to select the year, and then it gives me a month. I'm able to just scroll, use these arrows to move through the month. And then once I pick a day, it gives me the date like this. So this is the 12th of July, 1994. So this is how by default the calendar appears. But the next one is the one that doesn't have any calendar. So this is what we're going to look at next. You can see it doesn't, when you click on it, it doesn't give you a calendar. It gives you this scroller where you're able to pick the day, the month, and the year. So you're able to move through the days like this, and through the months, and also through the years like this. It doesn't give you a calendar to pick from. So this is what the no calendar does. This might be something that fits into your use case or the user experience based on your data collectors. So perhaps they're not collecting dates that are too far away. Maybe they're just within a few days. So this might make sense to only click on this, it shows you the exact date, and then maybe you move a few days up in between instead of having the entire day, which could be bulky. So this might be something you would want to do. So I'm going to select a day, 11th December 1997, for example. Yeah. And then the next one is the one that gives you month, year appearance. So with month, year appearance, it's similar to no calendar, but the only difference is it takes out the day. So you have only the month and the year. So I'm going to say August 2019. And then the final one, which is year, only gives you the year and without the month or the day. So that you only want to pick out a year. So you can work with this depending on what you want to collect or depending on the use case. This might be the start, and this question that has month or year might be the start date for someone when they started an institution, for example. You wouldn't want the exact date. You're only interested in when they started, or the end date when they obtained the qualification. And with year, you just want the general idea on when it fell in a year. You are not particularly interested in the month or year. So these are the three appearances that work with a calendar. Now the next appearance, where you're able to work with date widgets that are non-Gregorian calendars. So all these work with the January, February, March, or the Gregorian calendar we know. So where we have other calendar types, so I'm going to look at them in this next few questions. So I might add a few. I think ODK supports about 7, so we're going to add a few to see how they appear. So I'm going to do this here, add this from date 7, and then move it down here. Yeah, and then also move this ones here, date 11. Yeah, perfect. So we're going to come here, and then we're going to pick the Islamic calendar, the Islamic calendar, the one that's used in the Islamic world. So we have the Islamic calendar. Yeah, this is one of them. Then we have the Persian calendar. We have also the Persian calendar. We have I think the Bikram calendar. So this is it. Yeah, Bikram Sambat. We also have the Buddhist calendar. So this is the Buddhist calendar. No. I think here this might not have I think this version doesn't have the Buddhist calendar, but yeah, the Buddhist calendar, you just add Buddhist and it works fine. So I'm going to add it. This is how you write it. So if you're working with the later version of the template, you should have this, or you can check the documentation to see that. Maybe I didn't type it correctly, so it's, yeah, we have the Buddhist calendar. We have the Coptic calendar, and we have the Ethiopian calendar. I think we have the Ethiopian calendar, and I think the final one is the Myanmar calendar. Yes, the Myanmar calendar. So these are the calendar types. So I'm going to just save this and upload the newer version. I'm going to upload a newer version. Yeah, so I'm going to discard this and refresh to get the new form. Sorry. Yes, so this is our first date. We've already seen how this works. We're going to move to, so the one that starts with Islamic is date 5. So we're going to move to date 5. So with date 5, if I pick it here, you can see it gives me the Islamic calendar. And one good thing is by the right here, just next to the calendar, you can see it gives you the corresponding Gregorian date. So this is saying 12th Jamad al-Thani, 1446. So I could decide to move to, say, 11th Ramadan, 1446. And so it corresponds to 11 March 2025. 11th of Ramadan 1445 corresponded to 21st March 2024. So it's the same across all the calendars. So the next one is the Persian calendar. So these are the Persian months, Aban, Azar, Day. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing them right, Bahman, but these are the calendars. And then these are the year. So it's basically the exact appearance you have for no calendar, but for different calendars that are not Gregorian calendars. And so you're able to work with that. So if people there are native to those calendars and they're able to understand the calendar better than the Gregorian calendar, that would enhance your data collection. So you can always convert to the Gregorian calendar, which is known and widely used. And so you're able to convert in between. But given I could understand, for example, if you give someone the Gregorian calendar and they make their calculations in the Islamic calendar, it's going to be a bit difficult for them to make the conversion. But if ODK Collect already natively supports that, which it does, they're able to give you the date in the Islamic calendar, and you can always convert to the Gregorian calendar accordingly. So this is the date 8 is the Buddhist calendar, which you can see it here. Date 9 is the Coptic calendar, yeah, and then date 10 is the Ethiopian calendar, and date 11, which is the final date type, is the Myanmar calendar. So these are the appearances that work with your date calendar, with your date question type. So these are the total appearances that work. So these are the appearances. Let's see. We have a total of 10. So the first 3, no calendar, month, year, and year, work with the Gregorian calendar type, and then you can change between calendars, which we have here. In this case, we have 7. Hopefully, as time goes on, ODK is going to adopt more calendars, different calendar variations, and you're able to work with them natively within ODK Collect. So the time widget, which is the time question, and the date time don't have appearances they work with. These are the appearances that work with date time. But you can also check out the documentation to see this in action, and you should always refer to them because they are updated constantly as things are coming out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.